Dumbledore's Army Brilliant Event Part 1. Exactly the same as Darkness Rising Part 1, but not. Let's compare and contrast. Welcome, magical people, to Zealman's Wizarding World, your Wizards Unite town with a suburban twist. Slight difference in this video as compared to normal formats if you're a regular viewer. I try to keep these brilliant, deep dive tutorials, very similar format, so you kind of know what to expect. But we are going to add a little bit where we're just going to compare the sets of tasks against the Darkness Rising Part 1, because they are extraordinarily similar, but there are a few differences, and we can actually see where Niantic and WP have been making improvements to the tasks. So let's crack on. So the basics. This one is the 3rd of November. That's at 2 PM Eastern Time, which is 7 PM UTC/GMT. So UK people and Europe, we are now back to 7 PM again. So all is back to normal.
So that's that. And no harm done. Peace out.
Rewards for this one, up to 15 restricted section books, 6 spell books, 10 Dada books, 50 gold, so exactly the same as Darkness Rising Part 1, which I think is starting to be that particular format, right? So what can you do now? Okay, yes, this video is a little bit later than normal. Normally it's a little 24 hours earlier than this, but I had a day off yesterday, just because I needed to not do anything for a while, because my life is pretty much just going to work, and then looking after the little one, and then rinse and repeat. So I needed just a day off where the little one was at nursery. I mean, both my wife and I had a couple of days off. So the little one was at nursery, and we actually got to have a break together for a little bit, which is quite nice. That's and refreshing, just to do what we want to do, which consists of playing computer games for quite some time. But, you know, it was fun. It was nice. So what can you do now? You can brew 2 tonic for trace detections, ready for collection at the start of the event, because task 1 requires that. Also, make sure you have 2 Brufio's Brain Elixirs in stock, because you'll need to use those for tasks as well. And they do take a little while to brew, so make sure you have those ready and waiting to go. Now, what I have done is I rented a gold cauldron, and I whacked my 2 tonic for trace detections in there, and also bunged in 2 Brufio's Brain Elixirs. I didn't necessarily need them, but I thought if actually, it's cheaper to hire the whole thing for a day. So I just bashed in all the stuff that takes ages to brew, and I was still able to, in my main cauldron, bash out loads of basic stimulos, because I like to use those on brilliant Foundables, because I hate departures, and I hate having to do multiple casting, so it makes my game way more efficient if I can use basic stimulos on those. So we have brilliant bundles displayed here. We have a free store pack with the usual gubbins in it. So yes, that's there if you want it. How I feel about these store packs is I like the way they design the tasks. You don't necessarily need them. I don't ever use them. I used to buy them back in the early days, but ever since the software's got so buggy, and with the whole thing about the Foundables and registry messing around with, I don't feel the game is in a position where it's of a high enough standard that I'm willing to pay money on it at the moment. All the bugs and the stuff, the threat clock doesn't even work properly and all this sort of stuff. So I'm not, until they up the standard of the game and get rid of some of these bugs, I'm not really inclined to spend the money right now. But that's me personally. So now we move on to the Foundables. Now we have all the descriptions as well, which are not in any other video. So stick around for that, which is good. So the wild ones are brilliant Lee Jordan. Joining his friends in opposition to Dolores Umbridge, Lee Jordan enlisted in Dumbledore's army both to learn how to defend himself and to rebel against Umbridge's administration. Ever the character, Lee became fast friends with his compatriots and was always willing to offer an encouraging word or funny turn of phrase to uplift their spirits. Brilliant Neville Longbottom. Despite often being viewed as clumsy and shy by his peers, Neville Longbottom proved his bravery and loyalty by volunteering to be one of the first to join Dumbledore's army. A key figure in the Battle of the Department of Mysteries, he would eventually assume a leadership role in the group. To this day, Neville still fondly remembers catching Harry completely unawares with a disarming charm during their first DA meeting. If I remember correctly from the books, Harry actually had the wand loose in his hand. I think he's chatting to somebody else as well. That's quite funny. The challenging ones, you need 3 of these. That is the brilliant portrait of Ariana Dumbledore. Ariana is also the name I use for my Final Fantasy character. I do like that name. Ariana Dumbledore was the youngest child of the Dumbledore family. Bullied and tormented by local Muggle boys, the trauma she endured left her unable to control her magic. During one such outburst, Ariana accidentally killed her mother. She was tragically slain when she got caught in the crossfire of a duel between the Dumbledore brothers and Gellert Grindelwald. Her portrait rarely speaks, but is said to be kind. To this day, we still don't know, actually, who fired the curse that killed Ariana. The walking ones. We need 5 of these, and these are the brilliant goats. Or goat. This goat lived inside Hogshead Inn in Hogsmeade. It, by all accounts, is a normal, non-magical creature owned by the inn's barkeep, Aberforth Dumbledore. Mild-mannered and docile, it welcomed chin scratches from patrons, who often noted its surprisingly clean and curly horns. Oh god, read into that what you will. The task-based one, you just get one of these nowadays, and you get those for completing tasks. So this one is the brilliant Dumbledore's Army sign-up sheet. This parchment, while a seemingly innocuous non-disclosure agreement, hides a clever trick. NDA, huh? We've got a few of those floating around with the YouTubers. Unbeknownst to the members of Dumbledore's army, Hermione Granger jinxed it so that anyone who signed it and reported the group to Dolores Umbridge would have the word sneak appear on their face in boils. It's got a dark side, that Hermione. Right, now moving on to the tasks. The first rule of tasks now is don't place any images until the bonus round. So when they're shimmering and saying, place me, don't do that. Don't do that until the bonus round. Second rule of tasks is don't even visit the registry until set of task 2. Because in set of task 2, you'll need to collect runestones. And what you want to do is you'll be working in set of task 1 to picking up all the stuff. So you don't want to cash in on all that hard work until you get to set of task 2. Okay, so don't visit the registry until that point. Set of task number 1. Collect ingredients or portmanteaus from the map twice. Brew 2 tonic for trace detection. Return 10 brilliant Lee Jordan Foundables. So this is exactly the same as Darkness Rising Part 1. So brew your trace tonic in advance and collect. Now, portmanteaus. So you can start picking up your 5 portmanteaus here, but you may want to hold off walking in them until the bonus round. This is where you'll need to unlock 5 portmanteaus. And they will need to unlock during their bonus round, not before it and open afterwards. So you have to unlock them during the bonus round. If you walk a lot, you could start walking off your portmanteaus now. And you could also, if you wish, collect 5 1-kilometre portmanteaus and walk those off during the bonus round. That way it'll be somewhat faster to walk off, but obviously you need to walk off a lot more. But if you're not sure you can do 5 portmanteaus during the bonus round, so if you're running out of time, this could be a problem. So if you're at risk of not being able to do the bonus round, but you are able to get out and about, I would say pick up your 5 brilliants, walk them off from the event start, and then as you're getting around, collect 5 1k boring portmanteaus. That way you have less distance to walk once you get to the bonus round. Set up task number 2, earn 7,000 wizarding XP from traces, collect 5 brilliant Dumbledore Army runestones, use 2 Brufio's Brain Elixirs. So 7,000 wizarding XP is down from 7,500 in Darkness Rising Part 1, so a little easier there. Collect 6 brilliant runestones. That replaces the 350 family XP, which I'm sure everyone is happy about that. Use 2 Brufio's Brain Elixir is the same. As rewards, we get an extra 2 snowdrops and 1 less dart detector this time, which is probably fine, I think, actually. Not many people are doing dart detectors right now. Might not, because now it's cold. And I don't want to be standing around for half an hour. So at this point, you can now visit your registry and cash in on those runestones. Catching those Foundables in set of task number 1 is obviously going to earn you some runestones, so you should have quite a few by the time you get here. Wizarding XP from traces still might take a little while for you, but they're not limited to brilliant traces. So, time to pop on a Brufio's Brain Elixir twice, in this case, and go looking for red shards of light, and those those orange colour ones as well, so red and orange. You can also use your triple dart detectors on inns if you're going that way, if you're going to hang around the same spot. Put some triple dart detectors down because If you put them down in 3s, you're more likely to get rare spawns. Also, you can use your Trace Charm on any red shards, and you're going to get 1 or 2 red shards back. You're going to get at least 1 guaranteed. So that's all going to help. This is all from Traces, only this XP, so challenges won't do anything for you. I heard on the grapevine somewhere, I can't actually remember who said it now, so I can't really give credit. But they're adding a higher number of brilliant spawns for this event. They heard feedback from you guys saying that it was a bit low last time. Of course, we have odd things like, obviously, suburbia and city play is completely different in this game. So, unfortunately, probably people in the city are going to start complaining now that there are too many spawns. And of course, our Foundables this time are ones we catch. They are not oddities, so energy usage should be a lot lower now. Set task number 3, return 15 brilliant Never Long Bottom Foundables. Brew 7 potions. Use 5 potions in wizarding challenges of any kind. So exactly the same as last time again. Yes, Brew 7 potions is a bit of a yawn fest. You could of course rent a gold cauldron, fill that up, and your pewter cauldron, fill that up. But of course, if you're using the Trace Tonic, and you have those ready to collect at set task 1, then you're not going to do all of them at the same time. Personally, I normally take a break at this point, and I just bang Extemilo potions in and just keep churning them over as I do normally, because by the time I stop playing and I play the next day, which is usually 24 hours-ish, I would have easily done 7 potions brewing. As for what potions to brew, I would suggest Extemilos, as you need to waste those again in the bonus round, as well as the 5 you need to waste here. So I would suggest for the challenges to use healing potions or wit sharpening if you wish. That's a reason to use it, I guess. Just remember, wit sharpening potion only works on elites. Set task number 4. Complete 5 wizarding challenges with 3 or more teammates. Defeat 25 foes in wizarding challenges. And 4,250 wizarding XP from challenges. Yes, it's a very specific number, and there's kind of a reason for that. So the first task, the 5 wizarding challenges, obviously it's the same as the Darkness Rising Part 1 event. 25 foes in wizarding challenges was originally win 15 wizarding challenges. So if you want a group and you're at this stage on Wednesday, I would suggest joining Expecto Go. That's James and Sue for their Wizarding Wednesdays, because we all get together, we all jump on the same night bus, and we all do full teams. That way you can bang out Dark 5 if you're at that level, and get decent rewards on top of everything else. So that's really quite fun. If you got that on the Wednesday, join Expecto Go, because it's really quite fun. And usually I drink way too much wine. Earn 4,250 wizarding XP from challenges. Now that's down from 7,500. It's not exactly divisible by 2, so I'm not quite sure where we're going there. I guess the 7,000 divided by 2, but rounded up, and then the 500 divided by 2 maybe is how they got there. I personally didn't have any trouble with 7,500 wizarding XP, but of course I am level 50, and there are going to be lower players, so probably lower players were having a struggle with this. Again, if you join Expecto Go on Wednesday and do Dark 5 with us all, you'll bang that out in about 4 or 5 runs. Let me know in the comments below, though, if you've actually had trouble with this one, and just tell me your level and kind of where you're playing and what's going on, because I would like to hear why they dropped this one. So let me know in the comments below if that is the case for you, because I like to know how the game plays for everybody, really. Also, as a final tip, you can actually use Brewfier's Brain Elixir. Brewfier's Brain Elixir does work on wizarding XP from Fortress challenges, okay? So put on that Brain Elixir as well. Time for the bonus round. Place 5 images on Brilliant Hogshead Registry page, and 12,500 wizarding XP. Use any 10 accumulate potions in wizarding challenges. Defeat highest chamber unlocked, and unlock 5 portmanteaus. So the only difference between this one and the last one, Darkness Rising Part 1, is that there isn't that weird thing where you got Foundables reward. They got rid of that. So it's time to walk off those 5 brilliant portmanteaus if you haven't done already. Or, if you walked them off before, it's time to walk off those 5 1-kilometre portmanteaus that you may have hopefully picked up during set tasks 1 to 4. So now you can finally place all your images and go through the dialogue, which is groovy. It's actually quite good to do the dialogue in one go. Actually, I think even before this became a thing, I was actually saving them up and doing them all at once, just because I wanted to get all the dialogue in one go. I think because I was doing the vlog and I wanted to record it all in that one bit. So now, if you don't like any 10 Extemilo potions in wizarding challenges, I also want to say thanks to Expecto Go and Brita from the Wizarding Night Hub. Actually linked my previous tip on this one. So here is past me from back then, telling you how you can use those 10 Extreme potions on wild Foundables instead. So while hunting down your 45 wild Foundables, and also walking your 5 Porkies, which can be any Porkies, by the way, stop when you get a decent Foundable. So something like an orange shard or a red shard, something you actually want to have, something you would normally use an Extreme potion on. Then you can either jump into a Runes 1 with an old brilliant runestone, so you're not using anymore, and then open up the first foe, pop on a Extreme potion, and then back out to the map. You'll lose the runestone, it's not a problem because it's a junky runestone, but you also have a Extreme potion ready and waiting. You can then tap on your red or orange Foundable that you want to actually get, and then use your Extreme on that. Then your Extreme will count towards the task because you used it in a fortress, and you'll also be able to use it on something actually useful. Secondly, another thing you can do if you are a professor, you could also bang on a runestone for something that is actually interesting, and you could open up a ruins, and you could also put det hex on the foes, so you could actually win the chamber, get to keep the full Extreme, get a challenge registry reward, and a chance, although a runestone it's around about 50% chance of getting a main registry reward. But you could, of course, just do it the way that they want you to do it, and actually use the Extreme potions on your highest chamber task. But hey, I give you the options. You can choose what you want to do. Thank you, past me. Right, that's always weird when you do that. So the dialogue. The video is up here if you want to see the dialogue. That's if you don't mind spoilers, because it's out way ahead of time. I've even got part 2 recorded. So if you want to see the spoilers, that's fine. Also, if you've missed any dialogue during gameplay, because I know I accidentally tapped through them, it's up there. And by the time this video goes out, they will have the shortcuts in the description. All I gotta say is that this dialogue is building up to what happens in part 2, which is quite groovy, because there's something that happens in there that we'll be saying for a while to come. So tips and opinions. So it's nice to see they made a few tweaks. We've highlighted here just where they're tweaking the tasks. Family XP tasks finally seem to be banished for good, which is nice. So now Darkness Rising is over. There shouldn't be so much of an energy drain trying to get those really, really, really hard oddities, but for some strange reason are harder than dragons. So this should be okay. I tend to use as many basic Extremos as possible, just because I don't like to waste energy, even though there's plenty of it around for me at the moment. And also, I hate when they depart on me. It drives me nuts. Actually, I use basic Extremos so much nowadays, I rarely catch anything without one running, and I forget just how hard it is to catch Foundables when you don't have an Extremo running. So the portmanteaus. So walking those is going to be quite interesting. Where I am in the suburbs, it's kind of fine, even though we're about to enter another lockdown for 4 weeks. But with our lockdowns, we are able to go and exercise. And I usually take a long walk back home when I drop the little one off at nursery. But those in cities and like big towns and stuff might have issues. I went to a big town yesterday, and the town around about lunchtime as well, and the town centre was quite packed, and I felt quite claustrophobic. It's not normally a thing I actually suffer with, but because obviously with social distancing, anyone who gets within like 2 or 3 meters of me, I'm starting to go. So actually, I put my mask on while I was outside in the town centre. Every little helps, right? And it made me feel a bit more secure. So I would suggest you just stay safe. And remember, it's only the bonus round. So if you want to, to complete the dialogue and everything else, and the registry page, which will stick with you forever, the registry page, you don't need to do the bonus. Okay, so if you don't feel right about it, then just don't do the bonus round. So hopefully this guide is helpful to you. I'll try and get as much detail as possible in there. I do review other videos as well, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. If I do find tips in other videos, then I'll mention them here and credit. But I haven't this time round. Actually, they referred to me, which is quite nice. But let me know in the comments below what you think, if you have any tips for people as well. And also let me know what you think about them kind of reusing the task. Now, as a community, we kind of complain when they create tasks which are hard to do. We also complain when the tasks are too easy. And then we complain if they use the same tasks. So I think Niantic and WB are stuck in a rock and a hard place. If they bring different tasks to make it different, then everyone's going to complain that is not necessarily easy or hard. So there's a hard place for them to be, and I think we can't please everybody. But feel free to let me know how you feel about these things. I think I think we just get burnt out. I mean, as a calendar, I wouldn't mind like the brilliant events being split between 2 months. So like first Tuesday is the brilliant event week, and then we have Community Day, which is fine. I like Community Day. You could even do a Wizarding Weekend, but they ain't great. But you know, they're better than nothing, right? But so yeah, there's a little bit of event burnout, which is kind of weird because you know, we were all kind of hoping that they were going to be exciting and do lots of events, and they didn't, and that was just too much. Oh, what a world. So also check out pinned comments below. Any corrections will go down there, usually, because sometimes they change things last minute, and then it all goes wrong. But if you want the latest news, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the Zealman, also Instagram for AR pictures and stuff like that. I'm not as good as Wizardway Chris and Expecto Go and Muggle, but I do stuff. Also, not really doing much on Twitch right now because, say, life's a bit weird. So, I've not really had much chance to do that one. And if I did, it'd probably be really unsociable time for a lot of people. But, yes, I have a lot of other editing things I have to do for other people. So, until next time, brush up on your spells, get your wands ready, Wizards Unite.